They thought you were quiet because you were weak. They thought your silence meant surrender. They thought your patience meant fear. They thought wrong. You were not silent because you had nothing to say. You were silent because you were learning. You were watching. You were building something inside that could not be rushed. You were becoming someone life had not seen from you yet. And now the moment has arrived. Now the shift is visible. Now the pressure has moved away from you and landed on them. They should have left you alone. They truly should have. There is a strange power that wakes up inside a human when they are pushed too far. Not anger that explodes outward, not noise that begs for attention, but a calm focus that locks in and never looks back. That kind of power is quiet. It does not announce itself, it just works. Day after day, night after night, while the world sleeps, while doubters talk, while critics laugh. You stayed, you endured, you carried the weight without applause. And that weight turned into strength. They did not see the nights you questioned everything. They did not hear the conversations you had with yourself when giving up felt easier. They did not feel the fear you had to walk through alone, but you did. And every time you chose to stand back up, something changed inside you. A layer hardened, a belief formed, a promise was made. You promised yourself that no matter how long it took, you would not stay small, you would not stay broken, you would not stay stuck. They expected you to react. They expected noise. They expected chaos. But you chose discipline. You chose silence. You chose growth. That decision confused them. People do not understand when someone stops explaining and starts improving. They do not understand when excuses disappear and results begin. They do not understand patience with direction. That kind of focus is rare, and rare things are always underestimated at first. There is a moment in every comeback where the tables begin to turn, not loudly, not dramatically, but subtly. Small wins stack, confidence returns, energy shifts, your walk changes, your eyes change, your standards rise, and suddenly the same people who once looked down start looking twice. They feel something is different. They feel it even if they cannot explain it. That is when life starts responding to the work you did in the dark. They tried to define you by your lowest moments. They tried to freeze you in a version that no longer exists. But growth does not ask permission. Healing does not wait for approval. Progress does not stop because someone doubts it. You kept moving forward even when you were misunderstood, even when support was missing, even when loneliness sat heavy on your chest. You moved anyway, and that is why you are here now. Pain has a way of sharpening people. Pressure has a way of revealing truth. When life squeezed you, it did not crush you. It shaped you. It taught you what matters. It taught you who matters. It taught you how strong you really are. And now you carry that wisdom into everything you do. You no longer chase validation. You no longer beg to be seen. You let your actions speak. Some people only learn through consequences. Some only understand through loss. Some only wake up when life reflects their choices back at them. And that is not your responsibility. Your responsibility was to become better than the version they tried to break. Your responsibility was to rise without bitterness, to succeed without noise, to move forward without dragging the past behind you. And you did that. Remember this moment. Remember how it feels to stand stronger after everything. Remember how far you have come from where you started. Let this be proof that patience pays. Let this be proof that discipline beats doubt. Let this be proof that staying focused while being tested creates unstoppable momentum. This is not luck. This is earned. If this message is hitting something deep inside you, take a moment right now. Show your support by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. This space is built for people who refuse to stay down. Leave a comment about what you are fighting for. Your words might be the strength someone else needs today. They laughed when you were learning. They ignored you when you were building. They questioned you when you were consistent. But they are watching now, not because you asked them to, because results demand attention, because discipline shows, because growth cannot be hidden forever. And the same world that once doubted now witnesses quietly. You did not need revenge. You did not need confrontation. You did not need to prove anything with words. You let time do the talking. You let effort do the explaining. You let progress do the convincing. And now life itself is responding. Doors are opening. Confidence is returning. Opportunities are aligning, not by accident, by preparation. There is a calm that comes when you know you earned where you stand. No rush, no panic, no need to impress. Just steady movement forward. You understand now that real power is self-control. Real strength is consistency. Real confidence is silent. And that understanding separates you from the noise. They see it now, one by one. Not because you announced it, because life revealed it. When you stop reacting and start becoming, everything changes. When you stop chasing and start attracting, everything shifts. When you focus on yourself, the world adjusts around you. Do not slow down now. Do not get comfortable. Do not let old voices creep back in. Stay locked in. Stay disciplined. Stay hungry. This chapter is only the beginning. What you are building requires patience and protection. Not everyone deserves access to the new you. If you are still listening, it means you are one of the few who understand this path. Make sure you like this video and subscribe for more messages like this. Share your story in the comments. Your journey matters and someone out there needs to hear it. They should have left you alone, not because you became loud, not because you became bitter, but because you became focused. And focused people change their lives. Focused people outgrow limits. Focused people rewrite their story. And now, the story is turning in your favor. Keep going. Stay silent. Let life show the truth. And here is the part no one talks about, the lonely middle. The stretch of time where nothing seems to move, yet everything is changing inside you. Where effort feels invisible and progress feels slow. Where motivation fades and discipline takes over. That is where you lived. That is where you learned to keep going without applause. To keep showing up without reassurance. To keep believing without evidence. That phase shaped you more than any success ever could. You started to realize that strength is not loud confidence. Strength is waking up and doing the work when doubt is heavy. Strength is choosing growth when comfort is tempting. Strength is walking alone when it would be easier to follow the crowd, and you did that again and again. You trained your mind to stay steady when emotions tried to pull you off course. You learned how to breathe through pressure instead of breaking under it. People think transformation happens overnight. They see the result and assume it was quick. They do not see the years of restraint, the sacrifices that went unnoticed, the moments you wanted to react but chose restraint, the times you wanted to quit but stayed. You built emotional control. You built mental endurance. You built a foundation that does not shake when life gets loud. There was a moment when you stopped asking why it was happening to you and started asking what it was building in you. That shift changed everything. You stopped being a victim of circumstances and became a student of them. Every challenge became training. Every setback became information. Every delay became preparation, and with each lesson, you became harder to stop. You also learned something else. Not everyone who doubts you is against you. Some people simply cannot imagine beyond their own limits. They project what they would do onto you. They assume you will quit because they would. They assume you will stay small because they would. But your journey was never meant to make sense to people who stopped believing in themselves long ago. As you grew, you noticed how quiet your circle became. Fewer explanations, fewer arguments, fewer reactions. You stopped needing to prove your worth. You stopped needing approval. You started protecting your energy. You started choosing peace over validation. And that maturity is dangerous in the best way, because a person who is emotionally grounded cannot be easily controlled. Life began to mirror your inner work. Things that once felt heavy started to feel manageable. Problems that once overwhelmed you started to feel solvable. You realized that most battles are won in the mind long before they show up in reality. You learned to respond instead of react, to plan instead of panic, to move with intention instead of impulse. And slowly the roles reversed. The same people who once overlooked you started asking questions. The same situations that once intimidated you now felt familiar. The same obstacles that once blocked you now felt like checkpoints you had already trained for. You were no longer surprised by difficulty. You expected it. And because you expected it, you were ready. This is where real confidence comes from. Not from praise, not from attention, but from knowing you can handle what comes next. From knowing you have already survived worse. From trusting yourself under pressure. That kind of confidence does not need to announce itself. It shows in how you move, how you speak, how you decide. You are no longer chasing who you used to be. You are becoming who you promised yourself you would become. And that promise matters more than any opinion. You learn that not everyone who leaves is a loss. Some exits create space. Space for growth. Space for clarity. Space for alignment. And you use that space wisely. Now, when life tests you, it feels different. You do not panic. You do not rush. You do not collapse. You pause. You assess. You act. Because you know, storms pass but character remains. You built yours through consistency, through restraint, through choosing long-term growth over short-term relief. They see it now, in how you carry yourself, in how you no longer chase attention, in how your presence feels grounded. They may not say it out loud, but they feel it. The shift, the difference, the elevation. And that realization arrives quietly, one by one, just like your growth did. Do not let this moment make you arrogant. Let it make you grateful. Grateful for the struggle that strengthened you. Grateful for the silence that sharpened you. Grateful for the distance that protected you. Stay humble. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Because this version of you was hard-earned. And remember this. The goal was never to watch others fall. The goal was to rise above what once held you back. The goal was peace, stability, purpose. The goal was to become someone you respect when no one is watching. And you are closer than you have ever been. Keep moving forward. Keep your standards high. Keep your circle intentional. Keep your vision clear. Let life continue to speak through your consistency. Because the strongest statement you will ever make is a life well built. They should have left you alone. Because when you stopped reacting and started evolving, everything changed. And this journey is still unfolding. There is another truth that settles in once you have walked this far. You realize that not everything that hurt you was meant to destroy you. Some things were meant to slow you down long enough for you to see clearly. Some moments were meant to strip away illusions. Some people were meant to leave so you could finally hear your own voice. And once you hear it, you never forget it. You stopped explaining your plans because you learned that vision grows best in silence. You stopped reacting to disrespect because you learned that calm is power. You stopped rushing because you learned that speed without direction only leads back to the same place. Instead, you chose intention. You chose patience with purpose. You chose consistency over excitement. And that choice is what separates temporary change from lasting transformation. There were days when progress felt invisible, when it felt like you were running in place, when the world around you seemed to move faster while you stayed stuck. But looking back now, you see the truth. You were not stuck. You were rooting. You were building depth. You were creating stability. And deep roots are the reason you can stand steady now when pressure returns. You learned how to sit with discomfort without letting it define you. You learned how to face uncertainty without letting it freeze you. You learned how to carry disappointment without letting it harden your heart. That balance is rare. To be strong without becoming cold. To be focused without becoming rigid. To be driven without losing compassion. That is real growth. Life no longer feels like something happening to you. It feels like something you are actively shaping. Decisions feel clearer. Boundaries feel stronger. Your time feels more valuable. You no longer waste energy trying to convince people who already decided not to understand you. You invest that energy into yourself, into your skills, into your mindset, into your future. And here is the quiet part that matters most. You forgave without reconnecting. You released without reopening doors. You moved on without making announcements. That is maturity. That is strength. That is choosing peace over proving a point. And that choice gave you freedom. When challenges come now, they do not feel personal. They feel practical. Problems to solve, not attacks to survive. You trust your ability to adapt. You trust your ability to learn. You trust your ability to recover. Because you have evidence. You have history. You have already walked through moments you once thought you would not survive. You also learned to respect timing, to stop forcing outcomes, to stop rushing seasons, to let growth unfold naturally. You learned that what is meant for you will require preparation, not desperation. And you became willing to wait while working, to stay patient while staying active. That combination is powerful. The noise around you does not pull you the way it used to. Opinions pass by without sticking. Comparison fades quickly. You are too focused on your own lane to constantly look sideways. You know where you are going. You know what you are building, and that clarity protects you. There is pride in how far you have come, but not the loud kind, the quiet kind, the kind you feel when you look back and realize you did not quit. The kind you feel when you remember nights you could have given up but did not. The kind you feel when you recognize your own resilience. That pride is earned and it fuels you forward. Life continues to reveal lessons. Growth does not stop. But now you welcome it. You understand that every level brings new challenges and new responsibilities. You are ready for that. You are not chasing comfort. You are chasing alignment. A life that reflects who you truly are, not who you are expected to be. They are finding out one by one, not because you announced your progress, but because consistency cannot be ignored forever. Because character shows over time. Because effort compounds. And because staying focused while being underestimated is one of the most powerful positions you can be in. Keep choosing yourself. Keep honoring the work you have done. Keep protecting what you are building. Let life continue to respond to your discipline. The story is still being written, and this time you are holding the pen. And something else begins to happen as you keep moving forward. You stop looking for closure from people who could never give it. You realize closure is something you give yourself. When you decide to stop carrying what no longer belongs to you, that decision is quiet but powerful. It frees mental space. It frees emotional energy. It frees you to fully step into the present without dragging old weight behind you. You start to notice how much lighter life feels when you are no longer fighting the past, when you are no longer replaying old conversations, when you are no longer wondering what you should have said or done. You accept what happened without letting it define what happens next. Acceptance is not weakness, it is clarity, and clarity sharpens your direction. You also become more selective with where you place your trust, not because you are afraid, but because you are aware. Awareness comes from experience. You learned that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Some people are meant to see the results, not the process. Some are meant to meet the finished version, not the unfinished one. And that boundary protects your growth. Your days begin to feel more intentional. You wake up with purpose instead of pressure. You move with structure instead of chaos. Even when things are uncertain, you feel grounded. Because your foundation is internal now. It is built on habits, on self-respect, on discipline, on knowing that you will show up for yourself no matter what. There's a quiet confidence in knowing you can adapt, that you can learn, that you can rebuild if needed. That confidence does not come from everything going right. It comes from surviving when things went wrong. It comes from proving to yourself that you are capable of handling discomfort and still moving forward. You also begin to see people differently. You stop taking everything personally. You understand that many actions are reflections of inner battles you cannot see. That understanding brings peace. It allows you to stay focused on your path without getting pulled into unnecessary emotional noise. You respond with calm, or you do not respond at all, and that choice preserves your energy. Opportunities start to feel different now. You no longer chase every door. You evaluate. You choose. You trust your intuition more because it has been trained by experience. You know when to wait and when to act. You know when something aligns and when it distracts. That discernment is a result of growth. You begin to respect your own journey more deeply. You stop comparing timelines. You stop measuring your progress against someone else's highlight moments. You understand that your path is unique because your lessons were unique. And that understanding allows you to move at your own pace without pressure. The version of you that once needed validation would not recognize the version of you now. You are calmer, more focused, more grounded. You listen more. You speak less. And when you do speak, your words carry weight because they come from experience, not impulse. Life still tests you, but the tests feel different now. They feel like checkpoints, not punishments. You face them with a steady mind instead of a racing heart. You know that whatever comes, you will find a way through, because you always have. They are noticing, quietly, slowly, one by one. Not because you changed who you are to impress them, but because you stayed true to yourself long enough for the results to speak. And results speak a language everyone understands. Stay on this path. Stay consistent. Stay patient. Protect your peace. Protect your progress. The work you are doing now is building a future that will one day feel normal to you, but unbelievable to others. They should have left you alone, because the moment you stopped reacting and started evolving, you became unstoppable in the most silent, powerful way. And this journey is far from over. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, so they found their way back to the door they once slammed shut, haven't they? Crawling back with regret heavy in their hearts, hoping to slither past the damage they caused, hoping that your kindness will once again outweigh your common sense. But listen closely, my friends. This is the final test. Their return is not a second chance, it's a reminder. A reminder that some bridges are meant to stay burned, that not every knock deserves an open door. Do you remember those sleepless nights they gave you? The ones where your heart felt like it was suffocating under the weight of their betrayal? Where the silence screamed louder than any words they could have said? They don't remember those nights the way you do. To them, they're just a footnote, an inconvenience. To you, they were survival. And now, they think they can waltz back into the life they left shattered and act like nothing ever happened? No. This isn't their redemption arc, it's your reckoning. They didn't come back because they've changed. No, they came back because the world outside didn't treat them as kindly as you did. They came back because they couldn't find someone else to bear the weight of their chaos, someone else to shoulder their selfishness. And now, they're hoping you'll forget what you learned in their absence, that your peace matters more than their presence. Oh, but here's the harsh truth, one they won't tell you. When they left, they weren't thinking about you. They weren't thinking about the wreckage they left behind, the scars they carved into your soul. They were thinking about themselves, their wants, their needs. They saw you as a pit stop, a rest area on their journey, not realizing you were the destination they didn't deserve. And now that they've hit a dead end, they want to circle back. But the thing about dead ends is that they're meant to stop you from moving forward. You don't go back. You find another way. They'll come with apologies wrapped in tears, with words crafted to tug at your heartstrings. They'll promise change, whisper sweet lies that sound like the truth you wanted to hear, back when it mattered. But you're not who you were when they left, are you? You've grown, you've healed. You've built yourself back up from the rubble they left behind. Taking them back isn't just a step backward. It's a leap into the pit you clawed your way out of. It's tempting, isn't it? To believe in the illusion of second chances, to think that this time it'll be different. But ask yourself this: how many times can a heart be broken before it stops beating the same way? How many chances does one person deserve before it becomes clear that they're taking advantage of the love you give so freely? Forgiveness is a virtue, yes, but it's not a currency to be spent recklessly. It's a gift, and not everyone deserves it. Think of all the times you begged for clarity, for closure, for a sliver of the respect you gave them unconditionally. Did they give it to you? Or did they turn their back and walk away, leaving you with unanswered questions and a storm of emotions you had to weather alone? And now they want to waltz back in, acting like their absence wasn't a knife twisted into your chest. They expect the door to be open because it always was before. But this time it's different. This time, it's locked, bolted, and guarded by the version of you that refuses to be a doormat. Understand this: their return is not a compliment to your worth, it's an insult to your growth. It's not love, it's convenience. They aren't here because they value you, they're here because they need you. Need and love are not the same. Love builds, need consumes. And haven't you been consumed enough? You owe them nothing, not your time, not your forgiveness, and certainly not your trust. Trust is earned, not demanded. They broke it, and they can't just waltz back in and demand you hand it over like it's theirs to claim. You're not a revolving door, and this isn't a waiting room for people who couldn't appreciate you when they had the chance. So when they come back, and they will, stand firm. Remember the lessons their absence taught you. Remember the strength you found in the silence they left behind. Let their regret be a weight they carry. not a burden you lift. You've already carried enough for them. You don't have to carry them anymore. They'll try to rationalize their return. Oh, they'll say things like, "I've changed," or "I've realized my mistakes." Maybe they have, but is it really your responsibility to test that theory? They want you to believe they're a phoenix, rising from the ashes of their past, reborn and ready to make amends. But remember this, the ashes they rose from, they set that fire. And who was left to clean up the wreckage? You. You were the one who sifted through the debris, who cried until there were no tears left, who questioned your own worth because of how they treated you. While they were off indulging their whims, you were picking up the pieces of a heart they shattered without a second thought. You don't owe them the space to come back and disrupt the peace you fought so hard to rebuild. They left a mess and expected you to fix it. Now they're back, hoping you'll let them back into the house you rebuilt brick by brick. But why? So they can leave again when it suits them? Every time you take them back, you send a message, not just to them, but to yourself. You tell them that your boundaries are flexible, that your love is conditional, only on their return, no matter how many times they've walked away. And you tell yourself that your standards don't matter, that your pain isn't worth protecting. Is that the narrative you want to live by? Is that the legacy you want to leave for yourself? The truth is, people like this don't return because they've realized your worth. They return because they've realized no one else will tolerate what you did. You were their soft place to land, the one who forgave when no one else would, the one who saw their potential even when they gave you every reason not to. But potential is meaningless without action, and their actions told you everything you needed to know. Think of it this way. If someone truly valued you, they wouldn't have left in the first place. They wouldn't have risked losing you by treating you like an option. Love isn't about convenience. It's about commitment. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's messy. They didn't show up for you then, so why should they be allowed to now? And oh, they'll accuse you of being cold, of being unkind, of holding a grudge. They'll weaponize your compassion, twist your boundaries into selfishness. But boundaries are not cruelty, they're clarity. They're the line between love and self-destruction, between forgiveness and foolishness. Don't let their guilt trips derail you. Don't let their tears drown out the voice of your intuition, the one that's been screaming at you to let go. It's not your job to rehabilitate them. You're not a therapist, a savior, or a second chance factory. You're a human being with your own needs, your own dreams, your own scars. And those scars? They're not there to be reopened by the same hands that caused them. They're there to remind you of the battles you've fought, the strength you've gained, the lessons you've learned. They'll tell you they've changed. But change isn't proven in words, it's proven in actions over time. And even if they have changed, that doesn't mean you're obligated to give them a platform to prove it. Let them show their growth somewhere else, with someone else. You don't need to be their proving ground. You've already sacrificed enough. Here's the thing about people who walk away. They always come back. Not because they care, but because they're curious. They want to know if the door is still open, if the bridge they burned is still standing. They want to see if you're still there, waiting like you always were. But you're not, are you? You've moved on. You found a way to thrive without them. Don't let their curiosity undo your progress. The world is full of people who will love you the way you deserve to be loved. People who won't leave when things get tough, who won't make you question your worth, who won't treat your heart like a revolving door. Don't settle for the scraps of someone who only comes back when it's convenient for them. You deserve a feast, not crumbs. Let them feel the weight of their decisions. Let them live with the consequences of their actions. It's not your job to soften the blow. They made their bed, let them lie in it. You're not their safety net, their fallback plan, their emotional punching bag. You're a fortress, a fire, a force to be reckoned with. Don't let them dim your light just because they finally realized they can't shine without you. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. It's about letting go of the pain they caused, not inviting them back to cause more. You can forgive without forgetting. You can release the anger without reopening the door. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean giving them another chance to hurt you. It means choosing peace over bitterness, strength over resentment. And when they try to guilt you, when they beg and plead and promise the world, remember this: you don't owe them anything. Not your time, not your energy, not your forgiveness. You owe yourself the love and respect you gave so freely to them. You owe yourself the chance to move forward without the weight of their betrayal holding you back. So when they come knocking, let them knock. Let them stand in the shadow of the door they slammed shut. Let them feel the emptiness they left behind. You don't have to answer. You don't have to open. You don't have to explain. Silence is its own kind of closure, its own kind of power. Use it. In the end, this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about choosing yourself, your happiness, your peace. It's about realizing that not every goodbye deserves a hello, that not every apology deserves acceptance. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less. So let them walk away. And if they come back, let them stay on the other side of the door. Some people are lessons, not lifetimes. Learn the lesson. Close the door. Move forward and don't look back. They come back with stories, don't they? Stories of how the world turned against them, of how they were misunderstood, mistreated, or lost without your guiding light. They paint a picture of redemption, a tale of how they've been searching for you all along, as if their absence was a journey they took for both of your benefits. But let me remind you, their journey left you stranded. They weren't looking for you. They were running from themselves. And now that the road ahead is narrowed, they look back, hoping you'll be standing there, arms open, ready to catch them. But catching them means dropping yourself. It means undoing the balance you worked so hard to achieve. It means going back to the place where their absence left you gasping for air. And for what? To soothe their ego? To give them the satisfaction of knowing they still have a hold on you? Number. You're not their redemption story. You're not the safe haven they can return to after every storm of their own making. You're not the person who cleans up their mess, who forgives their trespasses without question, who sacrifices their own well-being to accommodate someone who only shows up when it's convenient. You've spent too long dimming your light for people who couldn't handle its brightness. You've given too many pieces of yourself to people who didn't deserve them, people who took and took until you were left hollow and wondering if you'd ever feel whole again. But you found a way, didn't you? You pieced yourself back together, slowly, painfully, but with a strength that surprises even you. And now, they want to walk back into the life you rebuilt without them. They want to reap the rewards of your growth without acknowledging the part they played in your pain. It's not their door to walk through. Oh, they'll play the victim. They'll tell you about how hard it was for them to leave, how much they missed you, how they've changed. They'll lay their heart bare and expect you to do the same, forgetting that they were the ones who taught you to guard it in the first place. But don't let their tears fool you. Tears are easy. Words are easier. What's hard is staying, fighting, proving your worth through actions, not just promises. And let's talk about those promises, shall we? The ones they make when they're desperate, when they see the walls you've built and realize they can't just waltz through them anymore. They'll promise the moon, the stars, and everything in between. They'll swear they're different now, that they've learned their lesson. But promises made in desperation are as fleeting as the moments they're uttered in. They don't hold weight. They don't carry truth. They're a means to an end, and that end is their comfort, not yours. You've been through enough. You've endured the heartbreak, the loneliness, the questioning of your own worth. You've sat in the silence of their absence and learned to make peace with it. And now that you've found your footing, they want to shake the ground beneath you again. Number. You deserve better. Better than someone who only shows up when it suits them. Better than someone who sees your forgiveness as a right, not a gift. Better than someone who couldn't see your worth until it was too late. You deserve someone who stays, someone who doesn't make you question your place in their life, someone who doesn't leave you hanging, wondering if you'll ever be enough. Because the truth is, you've always been enough. They just weren't capable of seeing it. And that's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to appreciate it. So when they come back, remember who you've become in their absence. Remember the strength you found, the lessons you learned, the peace you created. Don't let their return disrupt the progress you've made. Don't let their apologies erase the pain they caused. Don't let their presence overshadow the light you've worked so hard to reignite. They'll tell you it's fate, that you were meant to find your way back to each other. But fate doesn't force you to endure pain. Fate doesn't ask you to sacrifice your happiness for someone else's comfort. Fate doesn't knock on the door, it slams shut, expecting you to forget the sound of it closing. This isn't fate, it's desperation. And you deserve more than that. It's okay to feel conflicted. It's okay to wonder if maybe, just maybe, they've changed. But don't let that wonder turn into blind faith. Don't let it cloud the reality of what they've done, of how they made you feel. Change is possible, yes, but it's not your responsibility to wait for it. It's not your job to be their proving ground, their experiment, their second chance. You've given enough chances. And let's be honest, if they truly cared, they wouldn't have left in the first place. They wouldn't have risked losing you. They wouldn't have treated you like an option while you treated them like a priority. Love doesn't walk away. Love doesn't make you question your worth. Love doesn't come back only when it's convenient. So let them knock, let them plead, let them promise the world, but don't let them back in. You've already given them more than they deserved. You don't owe them anything, least of all another chance to hurt you. In the end, it's not about them, it's about you. It's about choosing yourself, your happiness, your peace. It's about realizing that you don't need someone who doesn't know how to stay. You don't need someone who only values you when it benefits them. You don't need someone who couldn't see your worth until it was too late. You deserve more. So close the door, lock it, and throw away the key. Let them find their way somewhere else, with someone else. Let them learn their lessons on their own. You've already learned yours. You're stronger than they ever gave you credit for. You're braver than you think. You're worth more than they can comprehend. And you're moving forward without them. But let me tell you something they don't want you to realize. Their return isn't a testament to their love. It's an admission of their failure, a failure to find in others what you gave so freely, so selflessly. It's their way of saying, I couldn't replace you. And while that might sound flattering in the moment, it's not love, it's not respect, it's desperation. Desperation to escape the emptiness they created in their own lives. Desperation to find comfort in the arms that once cradled them, even after they shoved those arms away. Desperation to rewrite the narrative, to erase their wrongs by worming their way back into your life. But here's the thing, your life isn't a book they get to edit. They don't get to rewrite your story just because they regret the part they played in it. And regret, they'll claim to have it in spades. They'll say they've spent sleepless nights thinking about you, that they've realized their mistakes, that they're ready to make things right. But regret is only valuable if it leads to change. Regret without action is manipulation. It's a tool to pull at your heartstrings, to lower your defenses, to make you question the very boundaries you set to protect yourself. They'll use every trick in the book: tears, apologies, promises. They'll remind you of the good times, the laughter, the love you shared. They'll try to make you nostalgic for the moments when things felt right, hoping you'll forget the countless moments when they felt so wrong. But nostalgia is a trap, a rose-tinted lens that obscures the pain, the heartache, the betrayal. Don't fall for it. Remember who they were when they left. Remember how they made you feel. The emptiness, the confusion, the way your chest felt like it was caving in under the weight of their absence. Remember the nights you cried yourself to sleep, wondering what you did wrong, why you weren't enough. Remember how hard it was to pick yourself up, to find the strength to keep going, when all you wanted to do was give up. You don't owe them your pain. You don't owe them your forgiveness. You don't owe them a second chance. They'll call you selfish. They'll accuse you of holding on to grudges, of being bitter, of refusing to let go of the past. But boundaries aren't bitterness, they're self-respect. They're the armor you wear to protect yourself from the same wounds they inflicted before. Don't let them shame you for prioritizing your own well-being. Don't let them make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. You've come too far to turn back now. You've grown in ways they can't begin to understand. You found a strength they didn't know you had, a resilience they never gave you credit for. You've learned to stand on your own 2 feet, to find joy in your own company, to build a life that doesn't revolve around their presence. And that's what scares them the most. They see the life you've built without them, the happiness you found, the peace you've created. They see that you don't need them anymore, that their absence didn't break you, it made you stronger. And that terrifies them, because if you don't need them, then they have no power over you. This isn't about love, it's about control. They want to feel needed, wanted, indispensable. They want to know that no matter how many times they walk away, you'll always be there, waiting with open arms. They want to believe they still have a hold on you, that their return can erase the time and distance between you. But it doesn't work that way. You're not their safety net. You're not their fallback plan. You're not the person they can turn to when all else fails. You're the person who deserves someone who stays, someone who doesn't leave when things get hard, someone who doesn't make you question your worth, someone who sees your value and cherishes it, not just when it's convenient, but always. And here's the thing, they know they're not that person. They know they can't give you what you deserve, but they'll try to convince you otherwise, because admitting the truth means losing you for good. Don't let their fears dictate your decisions. Don't let their regrets become your responsibility. You've done enough. You've given enough. Now it's time to give to yourself. Time to invest in your own happiness, your own dreams, your own future. Time to surround yourself with people who uplift you, who support you, who see your worth without you having to prove it. Let their return be a lesson, not a temptation. Let it remind you of how far you've come, of how much you've grown, of how strong you've become. Let it reaffirm your decision to close the door, to move forward, to leave the past where it belongs, because you deserve better. Better than half-hearted apologies and empty promises. Better than someone who only comes back when it's convenient. Better than someone who didn't value you when they had you. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't make you question yourself. The kind of love that stays that fights, that grows with you. The kind of love that sees your worth and never takes it for granted. And that kind of love isn't found in the person who left you behind. So when they come back, let them see the version of you they didn't believe in, the version they tried to break but couldn't, the version that found strength in the ashes of their departure. Let them knock, let them plead, let them promise the world, but don't let them back in, because some doors are meant to stay closed, some bridges are meant to stay burned, and some people are meant to stay in the past. He already broke others before he ever looked your way. Not with hands, not with weapons, with pressure, with fear, with the weight of reality. He erased belief from rooms. He made grown people doubt themselves. He made confident minds hesitate. He walked through lives and left silence behind, not because he was stronger, but because they stopped standing. And when he finally turned towards you, he expected the same ending: quiet surrender, soft collapse, easy control. But something went wrong. You did not move like the rest. You did not fold. You did not beg. You did not run. And now the air feels different, because the one who always won is facing someone who refuses to disappear. Before we go any further, let me say this. If these words hit you in the chest, if they feel like truth you have been avoiding, do not walk away. Stay with me, like this. Subscribe if you are tired of being underestimated, like this if you have been pushed to the edge and did not fall. Comment if you know what it feels like to be tested and still breathing. This is not entertainment. This is armor. They thought you were the easy lick. They saw the calm. They saw the silence. They saw the patience and mistook it for weakness. They mistook control for fear. They mistook discipline for doubt. They did not see the nights you stayed awake sharpening your mind. They did not see the private battles where you lost and stood back up anyway. They did not see the moments where quitting would have been easier, but you stayed. So they stepped closer, confident, comfortable, certain the pattern would repeat, certain you would be another name erased, another story unfinished. But you were never built like the others. You process pain differently. Where most people shut down, you lock in. Where most people panic, you slow down. Where most people react, you observe. You let them expose themselves. You let them underestimate you. You let them believe they already won. Because you understand something most never will. The real power is not loud. It waits, it learns, it remembers. Every time life tried to crush you, it taught you something. Every loss trained you. Every disappointment stripped weakness away. You did not get softer. You got precise. You learned how to move without wasting energy. You learned how to stay quiet when noise would give you away. You learned how to hold your ground when everything inside wanted to run. And now here they are, standing in front of someone built from pressure, someone shaped by resistance, someone who does not break on impact. They came expecting fear. They met focus. They came expecting surrender. They met patience. They came expecting an easy outcome. They met someone who already survived worse. Someone who already buried old versions of themselves. Someone who already faced the part of life that scares people into quitting. You are not new to this feeling. You have been here before, and you know how this ends. This is the moment they realize something is wrong. Not because you threaten, not because you shout, but because you do not move the way they planned. You do not react on their timing. You do not follow their script. You do not crack when they apply pressure. And that confuses them, because their power depends on predictability. It depends on fear. It depends on people folding early. And you are not doing any of that. They start questioning themselves. They start hesitating. They start feeling the weight they used to put on others. They start understanding what it feels like to face someone who does not need permission to stand tall. Someone who is not impressed. Someone who is not intimidated. Someone who knows their own worth without needing approval. You are not reckless. You are not emotional. You are controlled. You are aware. You know exactly who you are and what you can endure. You know how far you have already come. And you know that whatever stands in front of you now is late to the fight. Because the real war already happened inside you, and you won that. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving anything to anyone. This is about survival with dignity. This is about refusing to be reduced. This is about showing life that you are not an easy target, that you do not fold under pressure, that you do not disappear when things get heavy, that you do not give up just because someone expects you to. They are finding out, not through words, not through threats, but through your presence, through your calm, through your refusal to step back, through the quiet confidence of someone who has already been through hell and came back with their eyes open. And the truth is this: you were never meant to be easy. You were built to endure. You were shaped to resist. You were designed to stand when others fall. And anyone who mistakes your silence for weakness is about to learn the hardest lesson of their life. Stay grounded. Stay focused. Stay unmovable. Let them underestimate you. Let them underestimate you. Let them doubt you. Let them step closer thinking they already won. Because when someone like you stands their ground, the world does not stay the same. You were not the easy lick. You were the lesson. They are learning that some people are forged, not found, that some spirits are tempered by resistance, not comfort. You did not wake up powerful. You earned it through years of pressure that tried to bend you into something smaller. Every time life tested you, it carved something sharper into your core. You learned how to breathe under weight. You learned how to move when fear tried to freeze you. You learned how to keep your head clear when the room got loud. And now that training is speaking for you without a single word. You see it in their eyes. The shift. The moment confidence drains and calculation replaces it. They expected compliance. They expected weakness disguised as kindness. They expected someone easy to step over. Instead, they are standing across from someone who has already stood alone against worse odds. Someone who does not flinch when things get uncomfortable. Someone who understands that discomfort is not danger. It is just pressure asking who you really are. You do not rush this moment. You let it stretch. You let silence do the work. Because silence forces truth to surface. It forces doubt to grow. It forces people to confront the fact that they misjudged you. And that realization is heavier than any threat. They are not afraid of you. They are afraid of being wrong. Afraid that their usual control does not apply here. Afraid that the script they memorized no longer works. You know this space well. The calm before decisions. The stillness where most people panic. This is where you thrive. Because you have already made peace with uncertainty. You have already accepted struggle as part of the path. You do not need guarantees, you need resolve. And that resolve has been built quietly over time when nobody was watching. They try to read you, they search for cracks, they look for impatience, they look for anger, they look for fear. But all they find is steadiness, and that unsettles them. Because steadiness cannot be rushed. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be bullied into submission. It just stands there unmoved. You remember every time you were underestimated, every time someone decided your limits for you, every time you were dismissed because you did not look the part, sound the part, Act the part. Those moments did not break you. They fueled you. They taught you to rely on yourself, to build strength where nobody could take it away, to sharpen your mind instead of announcing your intentions. This is not about dominance. This is about presence. This is about occupying your space fully, without apology. About knowing that you belong wherever you stand. About understanding that respect does not come from volume or force. It comes from certainty. From the way you carry yourself when things get tense. From the way you refuse to shrink when pressure increases. They sense it now, that you are not playing a role, that you are not pretending, that you are not posturing. You are simply being exactly who you are, and that authenticity is dangerous to anyone who relies on illusion. Because real strength does not need to prove itself. It just exists. You think about how far you have come, the versions of yourself that did not make it, the habits you killed, the doubts you outgrew, the fear you learned to manage instead of letting it manage you. Those sacrifices matter now. They show up in moments like this, when everything is on the line and you remain centered. This is where the balance shifts. Not because you attack, not because you escalate, but because you do not retreat. You hold your ground calmly. You let them realize that pushing further will cost more than they expected, that the easy outcome they planned is no longer available, that this situation requires more than intimidation, more than pressure, more than assumptions. You are not here to impress. You are here to endure. And endurance outlasts aggression every time. Aggression burns fast. Endurance stays. It adapts. It waits. It learns. It survives. And survival is the quiet power that never announces itself. They feel it slipping, the control, the certainty, the upper hand they thought they had. And when people lose control, they reveal who they really are. Some get louder. Some get desperate. Some retreat. You watch it all without judgment, because you understand human nature. You understand fear. You have lived with it. You have made it your companion instead of your enemy. This moment is not the end. It is the confirmation. Confirmation that you were never weak, that you were never small, that you were never easy. You were simply patient, waiting for the right moment to stand fully in your strength, waiting for the right test to reveal what you already knew. You do not need to celebrate. You do not need validation. The shift is enough. The realization in their eyes is enough. The understanding that you are not what they assumed is enough. Because from this point forward, nothing is the same. Carry this with you, not as arrogance, not as pride, but as quiet confidence, as proof that you can face pressure and remain intact, that you can be challenged and not collapse, that you can be underestimated and still rise. Life will test you again. Different faces, different situations, same pressure. And every time you will remember this feeling, this steadiness, this grounded certainty, and you will know that no matter who steps in front of you, you are not the easy target they hoped for. You are the moment where assumptions fail. You are the presence that forces recalculation. You are the proof that pressure does not break everyone, and they are still finding that out. The longer this moment stretches, the clearer it becomes. You are not here by accident. You did not survive what you survived just to fold now. Everything that once felt unfair was shaping you for encounters like this. Encounters where character matters more than strength, where mindset outweighs force, where the ability to stay grounded decides the outcome. You understand something they never had to learn. That real pressure does not announce itself. It arrives quietly and stays. It tests consistency. It tests patience. It tests whether you can remain yourself when nothing is comfortable. You passed those tests long before today. That is why you are standing here calm while they search for certainty. They thought experience alone made them dangerous. They thought past victories guaranteed future ones. They forgot that every challenge creates a different version of a person. They forgot that someone who has rebuilt themselves carries a different kind of weight, not loud, not flashy, but undeniable. You feel your breath steady, your thoughts slow, your body aligned with your intention. This is not tension, this is readiness. The kind that comes from knowing you have already handled worse nights than this, worse doubts than this, worse odds than this. Whatever happens, you will not lose yourself. There is a strange power in knowing you can walk away without shrinking, that you can stand firm without hostility, that you can protect your space without becoming what you oppose. That power cannot be taken. It can only be recognized too late. They realize now that you are not chasing anything. Not approval, not dominance, not validation. That makes you unpredictable, because people who are not desperate cannot be controlled. People who are not seeking permission move differently. You let them feel the pause, the space where assumptions collapse, the space where plans fail, the space where reality steps in. This is where false confidence dissolves. This is where truth becomes unavoidable. You do not need to explain yourself. Your presence already answered every question. The way you stand, the way you look forward, the way you refuse to rush or retreat. That is the message. Remember this version of yourself, the one who stayed centered when tested, the one who trusted their preparation, the one who did not betray their own values to survive a moment. This is who you are now. Carry this forward, into every room, into every challenge, into every situation where someone thinks they can decide your limits. Let them think whatever they want. Let them assume whatever makes them comfortable, because when the moment arrives, when pressure hits, when reality demands truth, you already know how this goes. You stay standing, you stay steady, and they keep finding out. Time keeps moving, and the weight of the moment does not fade. It deepens. You feel it settle into your bones like something familiar. This is not fear. This is recognition. Recognition that you have been here before in different forms, different faces, same pressure, same expectation that you would give in, same hope that you would make it easy. You remember the early days when you did not know your own strength, when doubt spoke louder than instinct, when you questioned yourself more than the world did. Those days mattered. They built awareness. They taught you how fragile confidence can be when it is borrowed instead of built. You stopped borrowing. You started constructing something real. Now when tension rises, you do not rush to escape it. You let it sit. You let it reveal what it needs to reveal. Most people cannot stay in that space. They fidget. They react. They over-explain. They expose themselves. You do none of that. You stay still because stillness is not emptiness. It is control. They sense that control and it unsettles them. Because control without aggression has no clear target. It cannot be challenged easily. It cannot be baited. It cannot be broken down with noise. It just remains. You realize something important in this stretch of time. You are not fighting anyone. You are simply refusing to be moved. That is the difference. That is the shift. Fighting drains energy, standing preserves it. And preserved energy lasts longer than force ever could. The world teaches people to be loud, to be seen, to be harsh, to be respected, to be reactive, to be relevant. You learned another way. You learned that consistency builds presence, that discipline creates gravity, That calm under pressure changes the temperature of a room. They are adjusting now, recalculating, looking for leverage that does not exist. Because leverage only works when someone is willing to bend. You are not bending, not out of pride, not out of ego, but out of clarity. You know what you will tolerate and what you will not. That clarity is non-negotiable. You think about how many times you wanted to explain yourself in the past, how many times you wanted to prove you were right, how many times you wanted recognition. You outgrew that. You learned that the strongest statement is alignment. When your actions match your values, nothing else is required. This moment confirms it. You do not feel the need to perform. You do not feel the urge to dominate. You do not feel the need to win loudly. You are already winning quietly by staying intact. Pressure reveals people. It reveals impatience. It reveals insecurity. It reveals entitlement. It also reveals resilience. It reveals preparation. It reveals inner structure. You see both sides clearly now. They are beginning to understand that whatever they brought will not work here. Not because you are unreachable, but because you are rooted. Rooted people do not topple easily. They sway. They adapt. They stay. You recognize the power of restraint. The ability to choose not to react. The ability to let moments pass without surrendering yourself to them. This is not weakness. This is mastery. Mastery over impulse. Mastery over fear. Mastery over the need to prove anything. You carry this mastery quietly. You do not announce it. You do not display it. It shows itself naturally when it matters most, like now. The situation continues to unfold, but you are no longer waiting for an outcome. You are present, fully. That presence changes everything. It removes desperation from the equation. It removes uncertainty. You are enough right here without anything extra. This is what growth looks like. Not louder, not harder, just clearer. Clear about who you are. Clear about what you stand for. Clear about what you will not allow. You take note of this feeling, the steadiness, the grounded awareness, the absence of panic. This is the result of work done when no one was watching. Work done in silence. Work done through repetition and reflection and discipline. You did not become this by accident. You became this by choosing yourself repeatedly, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it was lonely, even when it felt pointless. Those choices compound. They show up now. The moment does not need a dramatic ending. It does not need noise. The shift already happened. The understanding is already there. You are not what they expected, and you never needed to be. You move forward with this knowledge, not heavier, lighter, because you no longer carry the burden of proving anything. You simply exist as you are, and that is enough. They came thinking it would be easy. They leave knowing it was not, and you continue walking unchanged. Time stretches and you feel it in every fiber of yourself. The pressure is not outside of you, it is inside, moving through you, testing you again. But this time, you meet it with knowledge instead of fear. You know what it feels like to be underestimated. You know what it feels like to be dismissed. You know what it feels like when everyone expects you to fold, to crumble, to apologize for existing. And now, after everything, you meet it with calm that feels like fire contained. Not explosive, but relentless. Not chaotic, but inevitable. They are watching, trying to read the rhythm of your breathing, the pace of your thoughts, the posture of your stance. But you have learned to hide nothing because there is nothing to hide. Every battle, every silent victory, every hardship that should have broken you has layered into an unshakable foundation. And foundations do not bend. They do not tremble. They do not care about appearances. They simply hold. And that holding forces others to see their own weakness reflected back at them. It is in this reflection that you find the quiet power. You are not loud. You do not shout. You do not need to threaten. You do not need to prove anything. They came expecting drama. They came expecting panic. They came expecting concession. Instead, they meet focus, patience, and clarity. And clarity is merciless in its own way. Clarity shows them exactly what they misjudged, and no argument, no manipulation, no history can change that truth. Well, 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 look at you, sitting there drowning in your silence. Don't speak. I don't need your words. I see it all over your face. The pain, the betrayal, the doubt, eating you alive. You think I don't know? Oh, I know. I've been where you are. I've stared into that abyss, where your so-called best wasn't enough, where everything you poured out for them became the very blade they stabbed you with. You gave them your best. Oh, how noble of you. You gave them your trust, a fragile gift wrapped in hope, and they ripped it apart like it was nothing. They smiled, didn't they? Smiled while they twisted that knife deeper. Smiled while they whispered sweet lies. Smiled while they turned your world into rubble. And now here you are, broken but not shattered. You're still breathing, though it hurts, doesn't it? Every inhale feels like dragging shards of glass through your chest. You wonder how it got this far, how the people you loved, the ones you'd have died for, became the architects of your suffering. You replay the moments over and over, don't you? Every kind word, every sacrifice, every time you stood by them while they chipped away at your spirit. They didn't just betray you, they betrayed the version of you that believed in them. That's the worst part, isn't it? Not the pain, not the loss, but the way it makes you question yourself. Was it you? Were you too weak, too trusting, too blind? But let me tell you something. You are not weak. You are not broken. They didn't betray you because of your flaws. They betrayed you because of theirs. They saw your light and couldn't handle the shadow it cast on their insecurities. They saw your strength and envied it, your loyalty and exploited it, your kindness and used it as a weapon against you. That's on them, not you. So stop sitting there, blaming yourself for their inability to hold what was pure, what was good. You think they're the victors because they left you here, bleeding and bruised? Number, they're the cowards who couldn't meet your level. This isn't the end for you. This pain, this betrayal, it's not your grave. It's your forge. This is where you burn, where the flames of your anger, your hurt, and your determination melt away the weakness they tried to impose on you. This is where you become something they can't touch. Look at them. They wanted you to stay down, to crumble under the weight of their betrayal. They wanted their lies to define you, their actions to break you. Don't give them that satisfaction. Don't let their betrayal be the period at the end of your story. Turn it into a comma, a pause, because what's coming next is going to rewrite everything. You want revenge, don't you? No, I'm not talking about stooping to their level, not talking about playing their games. I'm talking about success. I'm talking about rising so high, they choke on the dust of your ascent. Let your victory be the dagger in their hearts. Let your strength be the mirror that forces them to confront their cowardice. Because trust me, they're watching. Oh, they're watching. They want to see you fail, to see you drown in the sea of your own despair. But you won't. You're going to stand up, piece by piece, breath by breath, and you're going to show them what resilience looks like. You trusted them, and they used it against you. That's a scar you'll carry, no doubt. But scars aren't weaknesses. They're proof of survival. Proof that you endured what was meant to destroy you. Wear that scar like armor. Let it remind you of what you've overcome. Let it fuel you. They thought they were breaking you, but they were sharpening you. They thought they were silencing you, but they were giving you a story to tell, a fire to light your way forward. Use it. Use every ounce of pain, every tear, every sleepless night. Use it to build yourself into something so unbreakable that no betrayal, no lie, no coward can ever touch you again. The truth is, they didn't just lose you, you lost them. And that, my friend, is the real tragedy, because they'll never know what they threw away. They'll never find another you, never experience the kind of loyalty, the kind of love, the kind of trust you gave them. Let that be their punishment. Let them live with the hollow knowledge of what they squandered. You'll move on, you'll grow, you'll thrive. And when the day comes, and it will come, that they realize their mistake, you won't even hear their apologies. You'll be too far ahead, too consumed by your own greatness, too busy living the life they tried to take from you. So sit there for a moment, feel the weight of it all, cry if you need to, scream if you have to, but don't you dare let it break you. Don't you dare let it define you. You gave them your trust and they used it against you, but that's their story, not yours. Yours is just beginning, and it's going to be beautiful, powerful, and untouchable. Stand up, wipe the blood from your face, the tears from your eyes, and start walking. They didn't defeat you, they only taught you how to fight. Now go, prove them wrong. You think they left you in the darkness, didn't you? They did, but that's where you'll find yourself. It's in the darkest corners of your soul where the embers of your strength ignite. That betrayal, it's not a chain to bind you. It's a hammer striking molten steel. Every blow they delivered was meant to break you, but what they didn't realize is that fire only purifies. Look at yourself, not at the wreckage they left, but at what's rising from it. Do you feel it yet? That quiet hum of defiance, the soft but steady beat of resilience in your chest. It's there, beneath the pain, beneath the doubt. There's a storm building, a force they cannot fathom. They wanted you to believe you were powerless. That's the cruelest part of betrayal, isn't it? It's not just the act itself, it's the whispers it leaves behind. You hear them, don't you? You're not enough, they say. You're too soft, too naive, too trusting. Those whispers claw at your mind, louder in the stillness, deafening in the silence. They want you to internalize their sins, to make their actions a reflection of your worth. Don't you dare let them. Those whispers, they're lies. You trusted them because you believed in something bigger than yourself. You saw the good in people. You believed in loyalty, in honor, in the power of connection. That's not weakness, that's courage. It takes strength to open your heart, to let someone in, knowing they might hurt you. They took advantage of that, yes. But that's not your shame, it's theirs. They failed, not you. Let that sink in. The betrayal you're nursing wasn't born of your shortcomings. It was birthed by their inability to match your strength. They saw your trust as a tool to exploit because they lacked the courage to wield it with care. It's their brokenness that drove them to destroy what you offered. You were the light, and They were afraid of the shadows it cast on their hollow lives. But now it's time. Time to stop staring at the wreckage and start building something new. Piece by piece, brick by brick, you'll construct a fortress so strong that no storm, no betrayal, no cowardice can ever shake it. You'll learn from this pain, but you won't let it define you. Pain is a teacher, but it's not your identity. Do you hear me? This isn't who you are. This is a moment, a chapter, not the whole story. And when you rise, and you will rise, they'll feel it. Oh, they'll feel it. Every success you carve from this hell they left you in will be a reminder of their failure. Every time you smile again, every victory, every ounce of joy you reclaim will be a weight on their conscience. Not that it matters, because by then, their opinion won't mean a damn thing to you. You'll have outgrown them, left them to rot in the pit they dug for you. But let's not lie to ourselves. It's not going to be easy. The road ahead is steep, littered with the debris of your past. You'll stumble, you'll fall, and you'll doubt yourself more times than you can count. But every time you fall, you'll get back up. Every time you doubt, you'll find a new reason to believe. Because the alternative is to let them win. To let their betrayal define your future. And you're better than that. Let me ask you this. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who crumbled, who let their actions dictate your worth? Or do you want to be the person who turned that pain into power, who built an empire from the ashes of their deceit? The choice is yours, but I already know the answer. Because if you were truly broken, if you were truly weak, you wouldn't still be here, listening to this. You'd have given up long ago, but you didn't. So stand up, right now. Stand up and make a promise to yourself. Promise that you'll never again let someone else's actions define your worth. Promise that you'll never again give more to someone who takes without giving back. Promise that you'll learn from this. Not to close your heart, but to guard it with the wisdom of experience. Because here's the truth. Not everyone deserves your trust. Not everyone deserves your light. And that's okay. It's not your job to fix broken people or to save those who don't want to be saved. Your job is to protect your peace, to cultivate your strength, to become so complete in yourself that no one else's actions can shatter you. And when the time comes, because it will come, when you face betrayal again, you'll be ready. Not because you expect it, but because you know now what it feels like. You'll see the signs, you'll recognize the patterns, and you'll have the strength to walk away before it cuts too deep. That's the gift they unknowingly gave you. The ability to discern, to protect, to choose yourself. So thank them, in your mind, if not in person. Thank them for showing you who they really are. Thank them for the lessons their betrayal taught you. And then, let them go. Let their memory fade into the background of your life, a shadow that holds no power over your present, no influence over your future. You gave them your trust, and they used it against you. But they didn't destroy you. They didn't break you. They only revealed the depth of your strength, the resilience of your spirit. And now, armed with that knowledge, you're unstoppable. This is your moment. Your pain, your betrayal, your doubt. They're not chains. They're fuel. Use them. Burn brighter, rise higher, and let the world see what you're made of. And when they look back, when they realize what they've lost, it won't matter. Because you'll be too far ahead, too consumed by the life you've built, to care. Keep walking. You've got this. The best is yet to come. The weight of betrayal doesn't just linger, it festers. It's a poison, isn't it? A venom that creeps into your thoughts, colors your memories, and whispers its cruel truths when the world is silent. But here's what they didn't anticipate. You're stronger than the poison. It might burn, it might slow you down, but it won't stop you. It can't. Because beneath that ache, beneath the hollow emptiness they left behind, there's a warrior waiting to rise. You think this is where it ends, but it isn't. You think this is the chapter where they wrote your downfall, but the ink hasn't dried yet. You're still holding the pen. And when you start writing again, the story you craft will make their betrayal look like a footnote in the epic of your life. But let's not sugarcoat it. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's going to hurt. Healing always does. You'll wake up some mornings and feel like the weight is too much to bear. You'll look in the mirror and see the scars they left, both visible and invisible, and you'll wonder if you'll ever feel whole again. The answer? You won't. Not the way you were before. But that's not a tragedy. It's a transformation. You see, you're not supposed to go back to who you were. That version of you, the one who trusted blindly, who gave endlessly, who believed in the goodness of people without question, served its purpose. But now you're evolving. Now you're becoming something sharper, something smarter, something unstoppable. And that's terrifying, isn't it? To let go of the old you, to step into the unknown. But it's also exhilarating. Because in that unknown is where your power lies. They thought they knew you. They thought they could predict your downfall, control your narrative, dictate your limits. But they were wrong, because you're unpredictable. You're a force of nature. And like any force of nature, you're impossible to contain. Do you know what's ironic? They're not thinking about you the way you're thinking about them. They've moved on, oblivious to the damage they've done, blind to the chaos they left behind. But that's their loss, not yours. Let them go. Let their memory fade like a bad dream. They don't deserve the space they're occupying in your mind, the energy you're expending on them. That energy, it belongs to you. Take it back. Use it to rebuild, to grow, to conquer. You'll look back on this one day and laugh. Not because the pain wasn't real, not because the scars don't matter, but because you'll see how far you've come. You'll realize this wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The moment when you stopped living for them and started living for yourself. And don't think for a second that you're alone. The world is full of people who've been where you are, who've stared into the abyss of betrayal and come out stronger. You're part of a silent army, a legion of souls who've turned their pain into power. Let their stories inspire you, their strength remind you that you're not the first to face this, and you won't be the last, but you'll be one of the few who rises above it. Because that's who you are. You're not a victim. You're not a casualty. You're a survivor. And survivors don't just endure, they thrive. They take the broken pieces of their lives and turn them into something beautiful, something unshakable. The path forward won't be easy. It'll be littered with triggers, memories, and moments that threaten to pull you back into the darkness. But every step you take, every small victory, will be a testament to your strength, and those steps will add up until one day you look around and realize you've left the darkness behind. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right now, you're in the thick of it. The pain is raw, the wounds fresh, and that's okay. Feel it. Let it wash over you. Let it remind you of what you've endured, but don't let it drown you. You're stronger than that. You've always been stronger than that. Remember who you are. Remember what you've survived before this, the battles you've fought, the mountains you've climbed. This betrayal, it's just another obstacle, another challenge to overcome. It doesn't define you, it refines you. And when the time comes, when you've healed, when you've grown, you'll look back on this moment with gratitude, not for the pain, but for the lessons it taught you, for the strength it revealed, the resilience it forged, the the clarity it brought. Because here's the thing about betrayal. It strips away the illusions. It shows you who people really are, and more importantly, who you are. It's a brutal teacher, but an effective one. And when you've learned its lessons, when you've embraced the transformation it demands, you'll be unstoppable. So let them think they've won. Let them believe they've broken you. Because while they're busy celebrating their hollow victory, you'll be rising from the ashes. And when they finally look up, they won't recognize the person you've become. You'll be stronger, smarter, untouchable. And they'll realize too late that they didn't destroy you. They unleashed you. So go ahead, feel the pain, mourn the loss, but don't stay there. Stand up, take a deep breath, and start walking. The road ahead is long, but it's worth it. Because at the end of it, you'll find a version of yourself that's more powerful than you ever imagined. And that's the best revenge of all. Now go. The world is waiting. There's more to say, isn't there? More to feel, more to confront. This is far from over because the echoes of what they did still resound in your mind, don't they? Every smile you gave them, every moment of vulnerability, every time you let them see a piece of your soul, they've all become weights pulling you down. But that weight, you'll carry it for now, not because you're weak, but because you're learning how to bear it. Do you know what strength really is? It's not the absence of pain. It's not about avoiding the fire. Strength is walking through it, feeling every lick of the flames, and coming out the other side with your spirit intact. You're not running from this. You're not hiding. You're standing right in the heart of it, letting it shape you. Let me remind you of something. The very people who betrayed you are living their lives as if nothing happened. They've already dismissed you, pushed the memory of your loyalty, your trust, your sacrifice to the back of their minds. Maybe they've even convinced themselves that they did nothing wrong. But you know the truth, and so do they, deep down. But don't waste another second wondering if they regret it. That regret, if it ever comes, is not your burden to carry. What matters now is what you do with this, because you have a choice, always. You can let this betrayal define you. Let it keep you chained to the past, or you can use it as a ladder to climb higher than you've ever been. What does that look like? It looks like reclaiming your life, one piece at a time. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to have the strength to run forward yet. Sometimes, it's enough just to take a single step, no matter how small. One step toward healing. One step toward rebuilding. One step away from the shadow they tried to trap you in. Because here's the truth they didn't want you to see. You're more than the sum of what they took from you. You're more than the pain, more than the betrayal, more than the trust they shattered. Those things might have shaped you, but they don't own you. You're still here. You're still standing. And as long as you're breathing, you have the power to rise. I want you to picture them, those people who betrayed you. Imagine their faces, the lies they told, the moments they let you down. Hold that image in your mind for a moment. Let yourself feel the anger, the sadness, the disappointment. And now, let it go. Because holding on to it is like clutching a blade. It only cuts you deeper. Letting go doesn't mean forgiving them. It doesn't mean excusing their actions or pretending it didn't hurt. Letting go means reclaiming the energy you've wasted on them. It means refusing to let their actions define your future. It means choosing yourself every single day. And as you let go, you'll start to see the world differently. You'll realize that not everyone is like them. There are people out there who will value your trust, who will match your loyalty, who will see your light and cherish it, rather than trying to snuff it out. Don't let their betrayal close your heart. Keep it guarded, yes, but not closed. Because the right people are out there, waiting to meet the person you're becoming. You're going to get there. Slowly, steadily, you'll rebuild. And as you do, you'll discover a strength you didn't know you had. A fire you didn't know was burning inside you. They thought they dimmed your light, but all they did was fan the flames. This is your time now. Your time to rise, to grow, to become something greater than they ever imagined. Not for them, but for yourself. Because you deserve it. You deserve the peace, the strength, the joy that's waiting for you on the other side of this. So keep going. Keep moving forward. One step, one breath, one moment at a time. When you look back, you'll see how far you've come, how much you've grown. You'll see that their betrayal wasn't the end. It was the beginning of your transformation. The road ahead is yours. Walk it with purpose. Walk it with pride. And never, ever look back. In the end, this isn't about them. It's not about the betrayal, the lies, or the pain they caused. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, rediscovering your strength, and rewriting your story. They tried to break you, but here you are, still standing, still breathing, still fighting. Remember this. What they did says everything about them and nothing about you. Your trust wasn't a mistake. It was a reflection of your courage to believe in people. Their betrayal wasn't your failure. It was their inability to rise to your level. So rise higher. Let the weight of their actions fall away. Let their memory fade into irrelevance. You don't need revenge. Your success, your happiness, your unshakable resilience is more than enough. Move forward, stronger than before. This is your life, your journey, your triumph. And no one, not them, not anyone, can take that away from you.